Welcome everyone to today's webinar focused on creating stunning looking responsive surveys. My name is Małgorzata, I'm head of marketing here at Nebu. A few words about the webinar itself. It's really one of this audio and video outgoing sessions. So you cannot share your screen, any content, you cannot connect your audio or video. It's really just one-way session. You are looking, and but what you can do is actually send questions to the Q&A. At the end of the webinar, I will check potential questions and answers. To be honest, I have really a lot to show you, so I'm not sure how much time we're going to have for this section, but it's important. So if I don't get your questions after the webinar, the team or me, we will reach out and respond to your inquiries. Also remember that anytime you can just send us an email if you want a more personalized demonstration. We can gladly set up one with you. So the goal the goal of this webinar, my goal, is to show you how, with a mix of the tool and the responsive template, plus a few relatively easy tips and tricks regarding creating visuals, how you can yourself create really nicely looking and fully responsive, meaning really adjusted to desktop and mobile phones online surveys. But before we go to that part, and I will show you how you can do it yourself, I want to show a demo survey created by our partner, because with a little bit more of CSS knowledge, with Nebu Dub InterViewer, the sky is the limit. So really short demo of a survey scripted by a data expert, our partner. Once again, what you're seeing is just a CSS front end on top of DubQuest. So this is a demo survey focused on virtual and augmented reality devices. Let's go. Yeah, first question, how interested you are? I'm very interested. Then we're going to pick several devices. Well, I'm going to pick all of them. And next, this is how we rank them. You can also make your comments with a Tinder swiping like plugin. As you can see, it's very clean, very sleek, ranking question. Pretty much you get a point. So all of this is possible with the tool. But as I've mentioned, I want to really focus on showing you how you can work with the tool yourself without any help necessary, how you can do it very fast. A short game plan for today. I'm going to start with really high-level overview of 20 look and feel versions of the new responsive template. And then the rest of the webinar will be actually me creating a live survey. Just FYI, I have also prepared a demo survey. It's because I don't have much time and I want to show you a lot. I'm going to demonstrate on a demo survey, but at the end of the webinar, I will synchronize the live project we are working on to show you that it all worked and looks perfectly fine, but it's a much faster way to do it. So for creating a survey, yeah, I will show you how to pick a template. I will share a few cool setting options you actually want to know about when creating online surveys. Because I want to show you how you can customize look and feel of a survey. We're gonna use a CSS editor So it's our editor using using the interface. You will be able to style look and feel yourself. Then I will share with you how I look for visuals, for main pictures, and for icons. I will show you how to how to work with colors. If you're not a designer, it might be a bit tricky. So I will share a few websites where you can create your color palette, find the color code, make a gradient, and find a color harmony. I will show you how to work with pictures, recommended application. This is actually what we are looking at right now. Usually I have a presentation in PowerPoint, but for the purpose of this webinar, I figured I'm just going to show you the backend. So this is Affinity Photo. I will get back to that later. And of course, I'm going to show you how to use really easily from DubQuest Nebu plugins to keep your questions diverse, fun, engaging. And at the end, I will present Nebu Reporter with a project reporting a dashboard connected seamlessly with our project. So let me start by showing you this demo questionnaire. FYI, after the webinar, there's going to be a follow-up email, maybe today, maybe tomorrow in the morning, I'm not yet sure. But you will receive all the links that I'm sharing during the presentation. So this is demo questionnaire to build for you. There are all look and feel options of the responsive template available to you right away. And you will be able to test it yourself easily. So how it works, whenever you go, it's the same questionnaire connected to a few look and feel versions. So you always get different question types available within the tool, and possible options of the display. Of course, question type in Nebu Dub InterViewer refers to the resulting data type, but there are things you can do to keep it fun. I will show you maybe just a few options, but we'll really keep it simple. So this is basic single answers question. The same one with pictures. A plugin, a buttonized plugin. Multiple answer question. I don't know if you've noticed, but previous ones, single ones, are with a round radio button, and multiple answers have the square one. It's quite convenient to know. A tag cloud, just a few random options. Card sort. You will be able to test it yourself later on. Oh, carousel, one of my favorite. Ranking. Another display option. Drag to quadrant. And you can always go back or end your questionnaire. Just to show you the difference in the look and feel, I'm going to open a few of templates. There is always different background picture, different color scheme, different buttons, so you can find the most proper one for your needs. Yet obviously there are only 20 versions, and this will not cover all of your needs. That's why I'm going to focus on presenting how you can customize the look and feel. Oh, that's the controversial one, space. Not everyone within the company likes it. I find it quite charming. I guess maybe it's because I'm a huge space movie fan, but also most of the templates have this white background below question, and in this one it's omitted. Of course, this makes this template quite challenging to work with, because not every picture, not every question will look good without a background on such a spacious picture. But you can make it work, and it looks quite impressive. This is an example. I mean, yeah, the icon text should be white. But I will also show you how you can adjust it. Yeah, but Tag Cloud looks really fantastic in this particular template. So these are options, but I don't want to take too much time. I want to jump to creating a project. So I'm just going to a sales account I work with, and I will create a project from the start. For advanced Nebu Data Hub users, we also have a few people new to the tool today. So if you hear something you already know of, yeah, just bear with me. It's not going to be really often. I'm going to use the code proper to my manage frame numbering. Project ID, let's make it 2019 January 15. Project title, webinar survey. Okay, let's make default language English. Yeah, here you pick project type. Obviously, it's a VAPI question, and all you need to do to start using responsive template is just to pick one from the list. All 20 are available here. Keep in mind that it's good to, well, you should have from the drop-down copy files from library selected as the option, and also buttons after the question using buttons. This is the proper setting. I'm hoping that you're going to use this a URL for a landing page. It's a good option to, for example, transfer your respondents to a landing page, inviting maybe to join the panel or to go into another survey. Because we are gonna adjust look and feel, we need to pick a template. I'm gonna use the Nebu standard responsive to create a project. We will change all of it anyway. Oh, no, I'm gonna place my survey in a folder where I keep all marketing surveys. Create project. This is an overview of manage frames, of connected to sales environment. Our survey, a webinar survey is already here. This is the new one, and this is the prepared before the webinar. I'm gonna use it for demonstration purposes. Okay, so I'm gonna start with showing you those two cool project settings you wanna know about. So first one, when you're in project settings, in the tab, in the general tab, you have languages. If you go to details and edit them, you have survey title. This is a cool way to make a point of reference to your respondents, especially if you don't want to use a project title you use in manage frames. In our case, I made it a webinar survey, but I would like our respondents to see something else in the browser. So let's make it, what coffee type do you like? This will be shown in the this will be shown to respondents here in the tab of a browser. It's quite a cool setting. And the other one that is quite crucial, when you go into buttons, you want to have the height of your buttons equal to 0. These are all necessary settings, and from now on, your project is responsive. Because I want to make this survey a coffee survey. It's actually a team right now. We are working on a demo. Well, actually, our next webinar will be all about this coffee demo project. So this survey will be also related to coffee. And you could see that among 20 templates, we don't have such a theme, so we need to adjust it. To get into the CSS editor, you go to VAPI tab and main screen, and this wizard button gets you to the CSS editor. How CSS editor works, it doesn't show you a survey. Maybe you remember we didn't create any form yet. There is nothing. Our survey is completely empty, but it uses like a preview to allow to see what how your survey will look like. This is a preview from the template with PIC, standard Nebu responsive. And there are a few tabs that you can open to change settings. So in a page background, you change the background picture. There are a few already connected that you can play with, but we're gonna add a new one. Except for that, you can define the logotypes. You can see there are 2 Nebu logotypes. The purpose, it's really a placeholder. So maybe you want to use your logo and your client's logo here. You can change it from this tab. We can change colors of the progress bar, of the navigation bars, font settings, and labels for questions. I will show you in details how we're going to do that. Whenever you want to use your own images in an online survey, they all needs to be uploaded to Dub images folder. It's per a particular project. In our case, this is the project I'm working on. So, well, of course, I have all the pictures prepared already. So I'm just going to copy them right now. And I will copy all of them in just one go. This is the first round. And a reason, one too many. And the reason why I'm going to copy all of them in one go is that whenever there is a new file in Dub images folder, you need to quick synchronize the project. And depending on the survey, well, in our case, it's tiny surveys, so it's not going to be, it's not going to take time. But sometimes it may take a moment, so we don't want to waste it today. And these are icons, coffee types. I also have prepared before. So I'm going to add them right away. It's copying. Okay, I will already allow a quick synchronization to run in the background. The good news is that it do it only once, and because I have all the pictures here, it's going to be done. And then before checking the survey, the only thing we need to do is to reload the design from here. So it's really not a lot of hassle, but I really need to save time. Oh, well, yeah, that's fine. So now that I have all my pictures in place, I will go back to a CSS editor. I want to show you another way to reach there from project settings from DubQuest. It's a bit longer though. Okay. It's going to be a coffee question, a coffee survey, and I have prepared 3 background pictures. I'm going to show you all of them because it's not only about picking nice picture, it has to fit. For example, this is a beautiful picture with a coffee machine, but because we have a white background here, you really cannot get a feel that we are talking coffee here. So this is not going to be an option for us. The second one, yeah, you get some coffee grains, a clear indication what is the point of reference for the survey. And well, a third one, quite nice, but honestly, I like the second one, and we're going to use that one in particular. I have pre-picked that, but how would you look for a proper picture? And actually, this main picture that you find, it's important. You will see that based on that one, you will create the whole survey look and feel. So there are 2 main options. I mean, you don't want to look for just random pictures. You need to have your pictures like legally bought or acquired legally in another way. So one option is using just stock images and buying images. You always buy them in bundles, so they are not that expensive. This is Shutterstock. I use it quite often. Just look for coffee. Usually to buy a picture in a bundle, of course, the bigger the package, the cheaper the photographs. It's a few euros, so it's really not an investment. There are plenty of pictures. For that kind of generic pictures, like coffee picture, it's fine. But if you use, if you need like pictures of people, we show you like office computer. If you need pictures with people or like work related, they are a little bit artificial. Not all of them, but people are always so smiley. It's like if you need to have a lot of pictures and you use them often, after a while you will be tired. And that's why a few years ago it became really popular for people who really love photography to create online communities. They just make a lot of pictures and they want to share them, and they are less of a stock photo. They are more real, and the good thing is that you can find them for free. There are plenty of pages like that on the internet. One of my favorite is Unsplash. Many of pictures I use are from here. So when you go to coffee, oh yeah, they are of course organized in some main themes. Though it's an improvement. A few years ago, pictures were added just one after another without any segmentation, so you really needed to scroll a lot. And all of those pictures are high quality. They are really beautiful, and they are available completely for free. So I really encourage to check it. Oh yeah, I'm gonna just close it. I have so many tabs open. So back to our survey. We have picked a picture. You know how to find the picture. A bit in a way. So now what's remaining here in the CSS editor be aligned is, for example, logo settings. I mean, Nebu logo is dark on a dark background, doesn't look really well. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna from the drop down pick the white version, and in the right corner I'm gonna use a different logotype that I have prepared before. A logotype of Nebu Reporter, also in white. as you can see, it's here, so you can easily apply your logotypes. Though I want to stress point one thing, even though this logotype is exactly of the same size as this one, because I have like Nebu Reporter here, it seems a little bit smaller, right? And I mentioned that because the alignment of objects in a picture, it makes really a huge difference in the survey, and I will get back to that when we're gonna create our coffee question. But this is done. Actually, better not to have this at all. And then we are left with adjusting colors. How to pick a color palette for your survey. It's also quite tricky if you are not a professional designer. But of course, I have tricks to cover that as well. There are a few pages I use quite often. First is canva.com, and how it works, you upload a picture. Well, of course, we're going to use the picture, the main picture of our survey. And based on colors of our main picture, it gives you a palette. We're going to use this palette today. But then just to mention a few others that are really needed when you work with visuals. Color picker, I mean, sometimes you're looking for a color, but you have no clue how to find a color code, right? So you can use this page to define a proper tone and just copy what you need to have copied. The other one is to create a gradient. Maybe you have like 10 answer items that has to be in different colors. So you define the base color, and the last one of the flow, you define how many steps you want to have, and it's being generated for you. And the last way I want to show you is to define a relation between colors. I'm going to show based on a Nebu red color. This is Nebu red, and for example, complementary color for that one is this code. And then you can play with different relations between them. It's quite useful. But back to our survey. Oh, this is also cool. Only by clicking on a color, the code is copied. It's also very useful. So I'm going to go back to the CSS editor again here. Yeah, progress bar. So what I do most often is that I use the light color as a background, and this is an indication of what has not been done yet. It's here, and I use always more well, darker color for indication that answer has been already given. Oh, there is no save button in CSS editor, but just by clicking anywhere, by making any next action, your changes are being saved. And then I use the same colors for the logic in the navigation button. So background will be the lighter. Oh, this is, yeah. So the other way around, the hover effect. So just to give respondent indication that when they answer, it's gonna change into the same color, right? As the what has been done so far, what has been answered, and a light color for the background. Yeah, well, I'm a bit of a perfectionist. I would still like to change the color font in the progress bar into white. Yeah, that's much better. And to make it really nice, I would like to also change color of the font, general font color. Well, it's still a really dark brown, so the difference won't be huge. Question setting color. and answers also will be dark brown. Yeah. And you can also define color of the labels. Well, of course, well, you don't see labels here because we are in a single response preview, but we can change it into single grid. So these are our labels, and if I change it to white, confirm, they are not here. Yeah, but maybe I should go back to dark brown, just in case. That's gonna be a better choice. So our survey is already, it became coffee survey, quite easy. So let's start with creating a simple questionnaire. Yes, no. First, I'm gonna ask, how would you fill it in the survey? Yes, one answer option, no, the other. Okay. Right away, I'm gonna create, it's necessary to have and complete form. Thank you for your time. I'm gonna refresh and synchronize that particular survey at the end of our webinar. Oh, I can close that, but now I'm gonna show you what we are having. This is what we have. This is what we've created so far. So it's a single response question. Pretty basic, but already with the changes we've done, looking really well. What I'm gonna do is make this single response question. This is how you can easily change the question type. I want to make this single response question one with images, because I have already copied all the images. They are available, and they are available in the folder. I can just type yes to find my picture, and no. Okay. Result of this action, of course, yes, is this. We have a single response question with a picture, looking really good, but I can make it even better. And using our tool, you can make it much better. To do so, I'm gonna use our plugin. To use plugins, you go into Display tab. I'm gonna change it to HTML one. Buttonize is an option of display, and this gives us that version, looking already sleek and nice. Will be also easily clickable on a mobile device. The next question I'm gonna create refers already to coffee types. And this is where we're gonna start playing with icons and images. What is coffee type? And I'm gonna create a few answers items. I already have pictures here, so just let me use them right away. The naming of the files is also important. You will figure out your own way to do so. In my case, this refers to the size. It's picture 200 pixels by 200 pixels. Cappuccino 200. Then I have tapio. I have white. What else? Frappa. And okay. Creating that form in as a single response with pictures is resulting with that particular question. Looks really nice, but let's make it a buttonized one. So once again, I go into display to use the plugin to make it more engaging and diversify the look and feel. I made it buttonized, and there is this trick. You can see there is a white background beneath the W icon, and this is where the fun starts. It's because in this particular picture I used a different format. This is JPEG, really popular format, and from other icons I'm using a PNG format. What's the difference? Yes, let me show you. So we are back to Affinity Photo application I work with. I really recommend using it. It's pretty much a Mac version of a Photoshop. If you are a Mac user, it's a great choice. It has all the functionalities Photoshop has, but the difference is that when you get Adobe license, it's a cost of a few €100 per year. And buying Affinity Photo, they have a whole Affinity suite, a few applications available. Cost of buying this application is around 40 to 50 euro. I don't remember right away. I have it for years already, and it's just a one-time purchase. So even if you're not using a Mac, it's honestly a good investment. Within a year or 2 years, depending on the machine you bought, you're going to get return on your investment. And Macs are much more powerful, and it's easier to work with design tools. Oh, yes, of course, I didn't mention that before, but you need to have your icons really in more or less similar style. The perfect situation is where you can buy a set of icons, for example, on Shutterstock, and just use that. But you might get also pack shots from your clients. You just should have them really smartly aligned. So PNG, the difference is just the format. PNG is a format, and how you create it, it's as easy as that. So if you're ordering your visuals from like a designer, you just always ask for a PNG format. JPEG out of default has a white background. PNG allows you to omit that step. This grid here indicates that there is no background. Otherwise, oh, we are of course working on layers here. Let me move that back. So this is JPEG, and well, and this is a PNG format. So such a tiny thing can make a huge difference. And in the previous question, I already I also used JPEG, but there we had anyway a white background. And the moment you start playing with available plugins within the tool, you will stumble upon solutions like Button Eyes, where when you hover over, you get a different color background. And using PNGs will help you to omit that problem. I'm going to change it into PNG. If I do that, we are rather back to normal. So we have a nice looking question, though I can see there is something we can do a little bit better. So the coffee cups are not properly aligned. It's a small thing. I know it looks already quite fine, but this is only because we have icons from the same designer in the same style, so they already look similar. But believe me, the moment you have pack shots, some products that are from different producers, for example, you need to have your pictures aligned in a similar size, otherwise it's going to be complete chaos. How to align pictures? Well, first maybe let me show you what is the result of aligned pictures. It's a bit more harmonic, especially you can see it here. And there are a few like tricks where the moment you will start playing with the pictures yourself, you will figure it out. But when you work with professional designers program, you always work with layers. What I mean by that is this is overview of our layers. Yeah, I have. This is, for example, another coffee cup. I had hidden. I can disable that layer. And also in Coffee Romano, you can see that every element is a separate layer. I can turn it off, I can delete it. And the temptation and what you're going to be doing in the beginning is that you're aligning pictures in the middle of the whole group. But then the tricky thing is that when you have different products, like here, just espresso and espresso romano, so you can see because of the extra element, the lemon, the middle of this coffee cup is completely somewhere else. And you need to find a point of reference. To align my coffee cups, I have picked the middle of the bottom of a coffee cup. This is how I did it. And what I can do with this survey still to make it more mobile friendly, because it looks great, we can see it, but there is a lot of scrolling involved. So there are two options to approach that. One thing is that you can change the size of every single icon you have, and in case of a small question, it's doable. Just imagine you have more answer items here. It's really a nightmare. So instead of that, you can apply a simple CSS rule. And I don't mean to scare you. It's not like I think that you know CSS, you don't have to know it. For simple things, you can always create a ticket. If it's something easy, we can help you with that. Once you have a code, you can just reuse it. And this is what I'm going to show you. If your inquiry is a bit more complicated, we have partners that you could see. We can also help you with that. So don't worry. If you see something and you want to have a different result, just reach out to us. But to apply the CSS code, I'm going to open a project in which I have it. I really like that I can have a few projects open with Nebu Dub InterViewer. It's a follow-up survey we sent to our sales qualified leads. And I'm going to just copy a piece of code. By now, well, I cannot write CSS code by myself that easily, but I understand what I see and I can easily make tiny adjustments. Those codes are really simple. So I'm going to place it here. The first tab refers to sizes. I want to make just 2 rows with 4 icons in one, so respondents, especially the one opening on mobile, will not have a lot of struggles here. And the second part refers to exactly to small screens, so mobile phones less than 450 pixels. And the result of this action is this. Much nicer, isn't it? But then there is a tiny element I didn't mention. We align all the pictures only vertically, and now we want to do it horizontally, because as you can see, they are not in the same line. And I know it looks fine, but it can be just better. And well, I have already those pictures selected. I will show you the result of this. Is a really harmonic looking question. Well, to be honest, I didn't align those two, but let's leave it like that. I will just change the pictures here, because I still would like to synchronize our live project to show you what we've done. And latte and frappe I left just aligned. Didn't align them to the bottom edge, because they anyway have a different height. Yes, I think we have everything here. Building data set. Okay, so because I've already done quick synchronize, I only need to update reload the design, because I will reload project settings. And let's see what we've done. There we go. Survey we've created, fully aligned and really fast. Thank you. The last step is that I want to show you Nebu Reporter dashboard. We are already a little bit past the time. I'm a bit sorry for that. I knew it's gonna be like that. It's always so much to show. So this is Nebu Reporter dashboard. I have it. I had it prepared before the webinar. It's seamlessly connected with your Nebu Dub InterViewer environment, meaning that you really don't have to refresh your data by yourself. I can set up an interval in which I want my data to be refreshed, and you can select a data source. You will see when you have your Nebu Reporter environment, you will be able to see an overview of all projects that you have in your Dub InterViewer. Let me show you what's going to happen when I change project data set. The setting of all the progress reporting widgets, it's the same. Look and feel is the same. It's just the data that is being changed. And in case of questions like whole count and all count, you have data missing. Obviously, it's a different survey with different questions, so it cannot work properly. I will go back and connect it to our data set. Webinar. Where is it? Coffee. Oh, that's better. Demo survey. Yeah, it's updated. This is overview of what happened in our demo survey. Nebu Reporter offers a selection of widgets. Most of them, the default ones, are related to really progress reporting, but there is also a live connection with Nebu Data Hub, so we can create much more. I would like to show you maybe to edit a configuration setting of a hole count. For every widget, you can change the background, you can style your survey, you can make the background transparent, you can really make it look nice, you can add titles, change colors, and in terms of content, for example, for hole count, you have quite a lot of variables available within the tool just by default, and of course all questions we've created. I'm just gonna pick one of those. For some widgets, you can also display results in a table or in bars. You can select which informations you want to use. This is really a high level information. In the follow-up email after this webinar, I will also include a link to our previous webinar focused on creating dashboards with Nebu Reporter. To change a background picture, if I want to align it, for example, with the picture we are using, it's just a different URL that you're pasting, and it's all done. And really important setting that I want to show you before finishing today's webinar is that you can, well, they are all web-based, our live dashboards. You can decide if you're sharing or you can revoke share at any time. So right now I'm just sharing, I opened this dashboard in Safari because I'm logged in Chrome. So yeah, you just see it properly, data is being loaded. And the moment, maybe you have a bit more sensitive data. I mean, data in a dashboard is always anonymized and very generic. So there is, it's safe, but if you want to password protect it, you can. We're gonna make it as password, it's gonna be responsive, but I will mention that in the email as well. I'm gonna save that, and let me go back to my Chrome. So right now, dashboard is password protected. The moment I type responsive, I can see the results. So this pretty much concludes the storyline of today's webinar. At the end, I want to mention, and I will also include a link to this article. It's available already to people that are already Nebu Data Suite registered users. But if you have your own templates, we have a manual showing how to connect it to CSS editor, so you can use it yourself. Let me check if there are any questions. I don't see any questions. I'm really glad that you stayed, and there are still a lot of people. Great, thank you so much for attending. Feel free to respond if you didn't ask questions today. Feel free to respond to the follow-up email. We get everything. We will answer your inquiries. And perhaps if there is enough demand, we will organize like a training for beginners, for people who want to become designers. I'm also asking a question in a follow-up survey if you would be interested in attending such a training. So yeah, I would really love to hear from you. If you liked today's webinar, please fill in, complete the survey. Thank you so much. I'm wishing you a great rest of your day.